Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Hello, everybody. This is goddamn motherfucking Blade Goddamn Daily from Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, co-host of The Hard Way, and I am joined by the other co-host of The Hard Way. You might be thinking it's Brett Michelle, right? Ha! No. This time, it is our new permanent third co-host, and that would be the one and only Chicagoland native, Professor. Welcome to Sit Down the Hard Way.
You might think that it would be Brett Michelle, but no, it is I, Professor Degree, doing a bad Paul Heyman impression for all of you. I decided not to go with the Dusty Rhodes. That's my go-to.
Baby,
Baby, let me tell you something. Anyway, I'm glad to be back on the Forbidden Door with Dusty Rhodes, my good friend Blade Daily. Yes, so I'm good. Here we are for the most forbidden of all doors.
Yes, that's correct.
A mishmash of two podcasts joining into one. This is kind of a lot like when Owen Hart teamed with Coco Beware, or when Animal teamed with that other guy.
Crush.
Right, or that other guy.
Who else did he team with?
That guy later on that was like he had like
Droz?
like blonde hair. Well, then there was that other guy later on that had like blonde hair.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm talking about? Heidenreich.
Oh, that's right. And they were like LOD, like
but because
2007
this
or
is
something.
Forbidden Door. This is more like when Hawk teamed with that other
Kensuke
guy.
Sasaki.
Yeah, baby.
Hey-o, the Hellraiser.
That's you, and I'll be Hawk.
Whoa.
Well.
What? All right. Well, you've already beat me.
Well, I was Hawk.
We got to but like I wanted to be Hawk. We got to talk about this going forward.
Wait. Can I do this? Oh no, that's okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let's just end the show. It's just
God damn it! I was going to do an impression of you.
Fucking disaster.
And say something like,
"Don't do an impression of me."
Because I wanted to go Majoshi G, but there's no Joshi G today either.
She's not here either.
No, because we smell. So,
I mean, yes,
I smell. I haven't taken a shower today, so.
You know what didn't smell though, Professor?
Fucking Forbidden Door.
Forbidden fucking Door, the pay-per-view that aired as we taped this last day.
Yesterday afternoon. Yes.
Yesterday morning for me. It felt like Christmas. Okay, I went to bed early on a Saturday so that I could get up at 8:30, or I got up at 7:30 because the pre-show started at 8:30 a.m. my time.
Holy shit.
And you know what? I loved it. It was so much fun.
I know my wife she's always said she's so happy that I don't watch sports. And I was like, today you get to be like a football wife because I'm going to spend my entire afternoon on the couch watching wrestling.
Nice.
So she got to experience that.
That's awesome. Well, isn't she the lucky one?
She always, she's married to me.
Yes.
Don't ask her that question.
Hey, you're a catch. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Thanks, baby.
Even though it'll be me later.
So what'd you think about the show?
I thought it was fucking great. There was one thing from this show I did not like, and we will arrive there. Mm-hmm. I think people who listen to Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out already know what it is. Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. I can see ways in which it can work out just fine.
And I can see maybe explanations, but go on.
I think so. But I also think that by and large, that should not destroy what was a fantastic show.
Absolutely.
This year, Forbidden Door was a little less forbidden than it has been in previous years. And that's okay, too.
There were reasons. We know the reasons. Kind of, sort of. Tony kind of addressed them.
Well, I think it was very important for Anthony Khan to make sure that there was a big event happening around this time of year in London, okay?
Yeah.
He couldn't get Wembley, okay? So he books the O2, and all they did was set an attendance record for this venue for a wrestling event, which they announced during the show.
They did.
They had over 18,000 people there, okay? So, doing all right, doing all right. But, unfortunately, New Japan has the G1 and Stardom tournaments going on right now.
Right. And I'm not I don't follow New Japan super close, but everybody seems to be suggesting that they don't have the star power they once had. They're in a building mode or rebuilding mode, so I kind of get that too. Whatever, it was a good card.
Yeah, it was a good card, and let's be real. Tony has signed a lot of the people you would have been excited to watch Forbidden Door to see in AEW. Yeah. They work for AEW now, like Jay White, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, and before anybody flames me and says, well, he stole the talent from New Japan, it was that or WWE. They were going to AEW or they were going to WWE. I don't watch WWE, so I'm really happy I can still see Jay White and Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada, okay?
Yeah, because you're effectively not dead to me, like in the negative sense, but I'm not going to watch you if you're in WWE.
No,
I'm not going to watch WWE. So, yeah, it was slightly less forbidden, but the door, you know what? The door has been cracked open. The door has been open for a long time. It's the subject of another podcast, but maybe you don't even really need Forbidden Door anymore because there's a Forbidden Door every fucking Wednesday, you know? But that's another show.
I think that, and I think there's some value in making that point. I think, like, at the end of the day, the door has been blown the fuck wide open. They do crossovers with New Japan whenever they want anyway. CMLL people are showing up in AEW all the time or in Ring of Honor. I mean, how many collisions have featured tons of CMLL talent?
Yeah.
And you also have, what I want to see more of going forward is the Stardom talent.
Yes.
But I think AEW needs to figure out how to get more women on their shows first. So they have a lot of people that are under contract that are not being featured enough. So
correct.
I think they're going to get there. I do have faith, and I don't think.
Well, we'll get to that later on. But yes, they have been making leaps and bounds in their women's division. So
they have. So with all that hubbub, we're just going to jump right the fuck into it, aren't we, Professor Degree?
First up, we have the reunited Adam Copeland and Christian Cage taking on the. Is the Matriarchy the official name, or is this just what we're calling them?
I think it's just what we call them.
Okay, well, Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian, and no Nick.
Hold on, there was somebody else there.
Well, okay.
Run away with me, Mother Wayne. Run away. You don't need Nick. He's too young for you. You need me.
And he's your son.
He's your son. That's also weird. But
exactly. You made it
me, we go to Costa Rica, baby. We forget about this life. Me and Mother Wayne.
Exactly. All these struggles, you leave them behind, baby.
That's right.
She deserves a guy like you, Blade. A good guy.
Yeah. That's what that judge said. That I've become a much better. Anyway.
So that match happened, and it was the crowd. This is what I love. I love when you see, flashback, 1986, Iron Maiden, America. It's a bunch of kids in jean jackets and leather jackets, and they're scowling and they're angry. And then you fucking show Iron Maiden on that same tour in Rio, and the crowd is singing with the guitar, and the crowd is. I love going to other countries because it always feels like it's something you get in London or somewhere else. The crowd was singing the whole time. The crowd was louder than the commentary at points. Constantly singing, hey, baby, like all kinds of shit. And I just fucking adore that. I think it's so much fun. And you're getting it in America more, but it's not like it is when they go to the foreign lands.
Well, and when a country gets a show once a year, they're going to be extra amped. Also, the UK is just notorious for being an exceptionally great sports crowd.
Right.
And they had chants. They had all kinds of just...
Because we're boring in America.
We're boring.
We're always trying to be cool.
We're boring and we're stupid. Don't forget. We're stupid, too.
Stupider like a fox.
Stupider... I really did love them singing Copeland's entrance because they were really good at it. They did a really, really good job. Maybe the most on key that I've heard any audience. Was it Australia that started it?
I feel like that's when it first. That's when it took him by surprise.
And yes, that was the really organic time where it happened, and it was. They were really good too. It's either Australia or London, but exceptional.
Yeah.
Christian Cage comes out to his own music, which I liked as a nice touch because they're not
on the same page.
No, they're not fully back together. And they've replaced at the end of his Tron, it would list all the attributes of his, sacrificing and all of that stuff. And instead of father, it just says asshole. And I really, really liked that.
Yeah.
They are facing the makeshift tag team that was put together due to the unfortunate foot injury of Mother Wayne preoccupier Nick Wayne. Run away with me.
I mean, he just turned 18. You got to give him a little time before he gets out of the house.
He's 20 now.
Man.
I did. I already gave him some time. Yeah, whatever. Strike out on your own, young man.
Exactly. It's time. Get a roommate.
Go. Get a roommate. Exactly.
I was disappointed he wasn't in the match. I'm a big Nick Wayne fan.
I love Nick Wayne.
We've talked about him in the past. But I was really excited to see Killswitchosaurus come back. That was cool. Yes. I'm interested to see where that goes with these guys because I don't think it seems like he wasn't exactly on the same page. I was kind of in and out during this match, but
yes. So you were making a burrito, and that is to be understood about
because it was lunchtime when this pay-per-view started,
right? Versus morning tea for myself,
exactly.
Now, it was shown that there is a little bit of acrimony within the matriarchy, whatever we're calling this, because I don't think it'll be called that very long. I have a theory, but this is not a time for theories. We're reporting what happened. We're straight up on the beat, baby. Mm-hmm. And so Luchasaurus tended to use Kip Sabian or Killswitchosaurus tended to use Kip Sabian as a projectile weapon at numerous times in this match, which Kip did not seem to appreciate. Kip also, I mean, maybe he didn't ask first. Maybe that wasn't part of the plan. I got that impression.
Right.
But Kip tried to respond with some hard tags in. And when when people are kind of slapping each other's titties to get in the match, it's not a good situation.
Right.
And Kip also so they're both being kind of obnoxious. You know what I mean? I was happy that Christian wasn't killed taking that choke slam on Dynamite this last week.
Yeah, it looked rough.
Holy yikes. That man knows how to take a choke slam from a very large man.
Yeah.
Or just thank God he wasn't killed. But, we can get into the specifics all we want, but long story short or short story long, Cope and Christian get the obvious W that we all knew was coming. Kip gets busted open the hard way. Hey, that's right.
That's synergy right there, baby.
That's synergy. That's brand synergy ting. Yes. So Kip Sabian gets busted open and gets finished off with a spear. Cope and Christian made for a really fun the odd couple tag team.
Yeah, refusing the hug at the end, the kind of begrudging.
Yes, the begrudging hug.
And I can't wait to see how this unfolds with those two. That's going to be a fun journey.
There's a lot more to come, but they did show a little bit of kinship at a few moments. Christian looked eager to shake hands, not as much to hug. And also, I really enjoyed the spot at the very beginning of the match where Christian looked like he was going to start it off until Killswitch got tagged in, and then he just tags Cope in and gets out of the ring.
Right, absolutely not.
Cope played it so perfectly. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" Like,
right.
He's not bothered that he has to wrestle Killswitch. He's just like, dude, come on. So lots more to come from them. I thought we might get a Jack Perry appearance. No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, but you were saying he was on Being the Elite, correct? There was a reference to Mr. Perry?
There was a reference, a very overt reference to Jack Perry on Being the Elite that came out this morning, where the Young Bucks in the dredges of a pizza and Pepsi bender that they went on after the final match last night, watching their performance and being very despondent, depressed, whatever you want to call it. Matt Jackson's phone starts ringing, and it appears to it's a very funny ringtone. I don't know what the song is, but it's very funny. It's like a very geeky, like soccer mom ringtone. And he looks at his phone, and the caller ID says Jack Perry. He sends it to voicemail, and they keep watching the match. So Jack is coming back soon.
There's something. Yeah.
Yes. And I think maybe that's how they convince him. They show that, the Bucks aren't even returning his calls. Nobody knows what's going on, but maybe that's how they write Jack out of the Elite.
Right.
They've pretty much more than half written Okada out of the Elite. So
more or less. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to want to cheer Jack when he comes back, too. So I'm going to want to cheer him. Maybe you're not.
Unless they turn him on Copeland and Christian, I mean, I think that's the thing is Jack is kind of the first discarded child of Christian.
That's true. Yeah. They kind of wrapped it up, but yeah, the Luchasaurus thing is not.
Right. The Luchasaurus thing is not wrapped up. Nick Wayne, far from wrapped up. I think there's more to go. So I'm going to be very interested. Now, I thought they were going to take a sharp turn in direction after this match because I thought another result later on in the show was pretty much a lock, and I was wrong. So we'll talk all about that. But what we're going to talk about now is the match that happened next.
And that is Kyle Fletcher, the prototype of a star, Kyle Fletcher.
With the human toe, Don Callis.
Hiromu Takahashi, who, as I had said, is not a guy that has ever clicked with me before. I've seen him a handful of times. Nothing, no disrespect. He just never clicked until the last Dynamite that he was on. Mm-hmm. And this match also, I was still in the throes of making that burrito. But I did catch the last half. And yeah, the guy won me over. I'm seeing what other people are seeing. Just this tenacity and this grit and this never say die attitude. And he's also kind of goofy as fuck, which I always appreciate.
He's a madman. He is actually. Yeah. So what we've received in America of Hiromu so far is what I would describe as very hinged. Okay. He's thoroughly on the hinges. Now, Hiromu in New Japan alternates between hinged and unhinged at will. And when he goes off, I absolutely believe he could do an interview entirely in Japanese and you would end up laughing your fucking ass off. Okay. Because he's a madman. He is out of his mind. And he is very, very funny. So this was a great match. Kyle Fletcher, these guys have a fucking future in Kyle Fletcher, as you and I were discussing 100%. Offline. He is the future of AEW. I don't think there's any debate about that. I'm not sure what happens to Mark Davis going forward. I hope something because I do like him. But
agreed.
Kyle is not an Aussie Open guy anymore. They could do that down the road 10 years from now or something after Kyle's lived and conquered everything and they need to move him on to something else for a while. But Aussie Open's gone. It's over. Kyle Fletcher is your guy.
And he is a guy that it's not going to take long. I know you've been beating this drum for a long time, but it's just going to take the right story. All they got to do is pull the trigger and they can make him a main event star. It's not challenging at all. No. If you're talking about in the ring, he's already there. His fucking promos are already good. Yep. It's just going to be the right story,
And I think him with Don makes so much sense.
They're insufferable.
They're so Kenny and Don were insufferable, but kind of funny. Don and Will really never clicked. It was just kind of an uneasy alliance, and that's what it was supposed to be. It's not a failure of anybody. Right. Takeshita and Don were have been a different kind of alliance where it's Don doing all the talking for Takeshita.
Right. This is my monster.
This thing with Kyle is when they unveiled the portrait and it's Kyle completely naked.
Yes.
Except for the TNT title and Don's right behind him in a muscle tank.
And he keeps saying, I want to see it, Don. You got to whip it out. You got to show me. Don Callis found someone who is equally as obnoxious as he is.
Yes.
And just so willing to just push everybody's buttons to get there. And I think they work really well together. Yeah.
Yeah, and props to AEW Creative and TK for really understanding that Kyle is there. And he's already beaten Will Ospreay. He's beaten Mark Briscoe, who's getting a huge push. He's beaten Okada. He beat Okada in the C2 last year.
Right.
You could heat this guy up and make him a world champion in a month if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So they have an incredible match, just back and forth, back and forth. But in the early going, Kyle really dominates Hiromu, as you'd expect. Kyle's much larger than Hiromu. Hiromu's a junior in Japan, but he's very stout. Like, he's very... his build isn't that dissimilar from Ishii, except he has a neck.
He's just... Right.
Yeah. I mean... but, man, sign me up for a 1 or 2 month Hiromu run in AEW. Yeah. He would get over like crazy.
I mean, you could do that with a few different guys. I think it'd be great to see that with New Japan. Bring guys like you said with Ishii, where it's like, bring them in a month, bring them in for the summertime, you know?
I love the way they're using Ishii.
Yeah, big fan. And you could stick Hiromu in, I mean, like they do with everybody. You just stick him in the conglomeration and he's automatically over and let it run. Or whatever, or don't.
I picture a scenario where you have like Kyle O'Reilly and Roddy settle whatever the jealousy thing of Roddy is. Right. By the way, I will make the case that jealous Roddy is the superior Roddy, and he should always be jealous of something and someone interfering with one of his friendships. I love that version of Roderick Strong.
Yeah, I'm a
just
big fan.
Like whatever babyface Roderick Strong, not as much. I do love that Roderick Strong as well because I just love Roderick Strong, but come on.
Yeah, babyface Roderick Strong, I love bell to bell.
Yes.
This fucking weird, unhinged, screaming your name really loud. Yes, give me that all day long.
Love it. Bring the neck brace back. Bring it all back, baby.
Fuck it. Yeah,
bring it all back.
Wore a fucking cast for like 8 years. He can wear a neck brace. It's fine.
But if they can squash their shit and just be a part of the conglomeration, I can imagine a scenario where Hiromu is going absolutely ape shit entirely in Japanese, and then Kyle is interpreting it for Renee or whoever's interviewing them, and it being absolutely hilarious. I can absolutely see that. But Kyle does eventually, Hiromu. So Kyle's dominating the early going until finally Hiromu pulls some rabbits out of his hat. He's finding ways to artfully dodge Kyle's big moves. He took some of Kyle's big moves and kicked out of them as well. They made Hiromu look very strong. Very high pace to this, which is kind of Hiromu's style. Hiromu does hit his finisher. It's kicked out of, where he has modified the time bomb, which is his finisher in Japan. He has modified it for heavyweights to be a little different, and he hits it on Fletcher, and Fletcher still kicks out. Yeah, as you'd kind of expect, and it eventually just gets to a point where he can't artfully dodge everything that Fletcher throws at him, and Fletcher finally catches him, hits him with that badass-looking sheer drop brainbuster for the pin. It's over. Fletcher's still your TNT champion, a very foreseeable result, but God, I had fun getting there.
Yeah, I didn't know the result. Like you said, the result was easy to see, but I didn't expect to fall in love during this match, and I did. Dreamweaver. It was something special.
It really was.
All right, so the next match. The next match I was super excited for. Alex Windsor, Persephone, Bozilla, and the CEO, Mercedes Moné, for the TBS Championship.
Yep.
So I thought that going into this, I thought every single entrance looked great. They had these, we always talk about the big fight feel, and I love that. And every single entrance, I'm just like, man, I'm so into this. I've never seen Bozilla before. This is the first match I've ever seen her in. And then Mercedes entrance, which is perfect. I love the way that they take advantage of all the belts she has. And what did they do it all in? I can't remember. I remember she had a super cool entrance with...
She had the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, didn't she?
Was that what it was?
Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And
they were in Arlington. Yeah.
So with these guys, it's the guys on the Beefeater gym or whatever that is. Right. I thought that was fucking classy. Looked really cool. What did you think? What did you think about that?
I loved it. They clearly look, Mercedes doesn't need to be the world champion to feel like one of the biggest stars in the company.
Right.
And in this, in her entrances and her presentation, I think you always see what a fan Tony Khan is of Mercedes.
Sure.
And what a fan, if you're not by now, what's your fucking problem?
Yeah,
you know,
if you haven't figured it out, like maybe don't watch wrestling anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like
point,
hate on anybody for their opinion, but like I don't get it if you don't see it.
And hey, man, like I said, it took me up until just this past week for Hiromu to catch with me, so I understand it doesn't. I mean, it's been like 25 years and Randy Orton still hasn't clicked with me. Maybe it'll happen, but like, how do you not? Mercedes is so fucking good. I mean,
entirely different reasons for Randy, though. I feel the exact same way about Randy Orton. He's never ever felt like a main event guy to me. I just don't get it.
Nope.
He's very good, but whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, a little Randy Orton shit talk there that was unscheduled, but very welcome.
Sorry, I had to bring it in.
Hey, no,
so
you talk your shit, fool.
That's what I do. So I've only heard Bozilla's name.
Yeah.
Completely unfamiliar with her.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned before, it appears that Vader and Brooke Shields had an illegitimate child. She even had that, like the smoky mask.
Yeah.
You know, I know it was like kind of looked like Morty and Joe or whatever from Fury Road, but of course I see the smoke and it makes me think of Vader. And I think Danielson might have brought that up.
Yeah.
And dude, I loved that number one, she's 21 or whatever you said.
She's 21 years old.
Dude, she hung with the rest of them and they built that whole match just around, what are we going to do? This lady's 3 times, she's fucking 6 feet tall. The rest of them are like 4 feet tall. And she's just throwing them around. And and it was convincing. Like you never got the impression, at least I didn't. I never felt like they had to go out of their way to make her look better. I'm sure they were. I didn't see it. It was so smooth. It was so flawless. This girl looked like she had been a professional for years. I was really impressed with her. And I wanted her to win by the end of it. I was like, maybe this is that weird one where like, this is where it happens, you know? And like we see somebody take a belt home to Japan or take it back home to Stardom, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But go on,
I thought, no, not please. I mean,
I'm a rambler, baby.
Right, we're both ramblers. We're both ramblers and gamblers and schmamblers.
Basically, the fucking Allman Brothers over here.
Yeah, we're basically schmamblers, just like the Allman Brothers. So, Dwayne, R.I.P. They're all dead now, aren't they?
Probably.
I think they're all dead. I think Dickie died.
Do you know that shit where they're like, you know that one song where they're like, come backstage and have a drink of champagne?
Yeah,
You know they really were like big champagne drinkers, I guess? Like whiskey, Coke, and champagne was like the Allman. I don't know. This is what I've heard. Somebody
when I was a drinker,
it's not bullshit.
When I was a drinker, champagne was fun because you could drink it in the morning and be sober by the noon. Like you could, I really like mimosas. You know, because you can have like 4 mimosas and then sober up like an hour later. Like it's
exactly. Yeah. So maybe that's why they were drinking champagne. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. I've heard that's not bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Allman Brothers segue.
Little Allman Brothers stuff for you guys. Brett would appreciate that.
Brett would have appreciated that. Persephone was awesome.
Persephone's really, really good.
And Alex Windsor's always fucking spot on. She's great. She's pretty new to me too. I never saw her stuff pre-AEW. So
I hadn't either. I had seen Joshi G, friend relative of the show that we're doing right now. My co-host on Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. You've heard of her. Yeah, that's right.
She's famous.
That's right.
Kind of carries the show.
Whoa.
Just saying. Go on. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Hold. No. We're going to stop everything.
I'm just saying she's not on today and you can, there's like a void that's, I'm just saying I'm doing my best to do everything she does to make the show as good as she makes it.
All right, listen, mother. Okay, we're back. All right. Just sorry, I needed to edit a little bit out of the show, but we're still going ahead. And anyway,
I just want to say you look really nice today, Blade. I didn't know if I ever mentioned that before. You look really good today.
Thanks.
So I thought that match was good. Persephone is awesome. Again,
usually the biggest person in her matches too. By the way,
in this one, no.
I love
killer.
They all worked together to elevate Bozilla. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I felt like that was the point of the match. When they did that big fucking super duper plex off the top rope and like, I don't even remember how it came together.
I don't either anymore.
They're just adding people. They're just adding. How many women are in this match? Are there 15 women in this superplex? That was awesome.
They went straight up Voltron on that shit. Yeah.
Totally. This was one of my favorite matches of the whole night.
It was mine too. It was one of mine too.
Yeah, I was very excited about the whole thing.
Mercedes Moné sneaks a pin in on Persephone after Bozilla is finally sufficiently worn down.
And I love her, like, I'm going to get the pin and run away as fast as I possibly can.
Yes. Well, she's the smallest person in the match, right?
Yeah.
So it's like...
I love the chicken shit side comes out. Like,
well, and Mercedes, like, in my opinion, has really picked up the character work over the last 3 or 4 months. Really, since that feud with Tony started. The one critique I have with the way they use Mercedes, and I get why they do it, because she's a belt collector, she's traveling the world, she's a globetrotter, you know, that kind of thing, which is legit. That's a real story. Right. But she's rarely in feuds. She's kind of just always dealing with a challenger. And she doesn't get a lot of time to like have a personal issue with anybody. And so when she did with Tony, it really elevated her character. And you knew when she lost that match, that was like crippling ego blow for Mercedes Moné. And she's playing off that now. And she's a lot of fun to watch. Just like the Bucks losing the EVP status has been a lot of fun to watch. Right. It's fun to watch Mercedes cope with, she's better than everyone except Tony.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to add a caveat to my, about her running out of the ring as soon as she gets the pin. I use the term chicken shit, but it's not just the chicken shit heel move. She knows that you got a damn good reason to hate her because she's given you a reason to hate her. And that's why she has to run, you know? I would
say
so entertaining.
Her character has a lot in common with MJF, but I think in certain ways she pulls it off a little better, actually, which is she thinks she's the best. And she projects that outwardly, but you know she doesn't really believe it, and she's scared. And there's layers to her character that I really like. MJF, same thing. And we'll talk all about that in a little bit here. But, Mercedes is just one of the all-time greats. If you don't get Mercedes by this point, I don't think we get each other as wrestling fans. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't understand what's to get.
I mean, I don't, I've learned my lesson about mouthing off earlier, but I'm agreeing with you here.
Hey, so, there we go. Cause I'm smart.
No, it's the thing where it's like, okay, maybe you don't like her character. Bell to bell, she's insane, dude.
Insane.
I mean, her she doesn't really have bad matches, you know? I don't understand. I think I do understand why some people don't like her, but that's a whole nother podcast called There's a Lot of Fucking Racists Out There.
That's true. That's true.
And
that's
a lot of people who just don't like women.
And I do think you can.
And a lot of people who don't like black women.
Yes.
And those people are what we call assholes.
Yeah, and confident black women who don't like play up this false sense of modesty, you know? Right. Like, she's one of the best in the world. Why would she be modest? And she does a lot of her interviews in character. And I think some people cannot tell the difference between that character.
Dude, yeah.
And they think that's who she really is. I think she's a very confident person. But why wouldn't she be? I mean, Jesus Christ.
You have to be operating on that level.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And to so completely inhabit this character, you would have to kind of be a little bit of that.
And her boyfriend is the Beast Mordos.
Come on.
She's got every reason to be confident.
This lady, she's incredible. Mercedes is incredible.
I'm a big fan. I was a big fan from back in NXT was when I first saw her. I was a fan. So absolutely.
Speaking of big fans, though.
Yeah.
Two gentlemen who had a lot of fans inside the O2 Arena yesterday wrestled next.
Oh, that was a good segue, dude.
For the IWGP. Thank you.
I was just going to say it, but you actually worked something into the whole show.
That's right. That's right. Good. You know, you're new. We're just working. We're working some stuff out.
We're figuring it out.
You know, the art of the segue.
Just don't hit me again. I don't want to go back in the box again. I liked the box the first time. I don't like the box this time. It's different now.
It's different when you don't want to be in it.
Well, and because you didn't clean it out from the last time I was in there.
No, I didn't.
So it's still kind of, the cardboard's getting a little soggy, and it
Dude, what did you
stinks
do?
a little. Well, I was there for a while.
The bucket
Wade.
was still in there.
Yeah.
Why is it so soggy?
Well, I mean, the bucket, I tipped it over. I was playing Spaceman. I had to have a hat or a helmet. So anyway, so Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel. That was a good match too. I am a big fan of. I like that Johnny Saint, all the chest stuff at the beginning.
That was one of my. Like at first, I didn't like when people would run like full videos prior to their entrance. That kind of annoyed me. And I'm talking like, yeah, I'm kind of talking like 5-6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then I saw a few that I thought were really good. This is one of the best I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. Like, I loved Hangman's at All In. I loved, Kenny's had a few really good ones. But this was super good, which was Johnny Saint, kind of heralded as the greatest technical wrestler in Brit Res history, right? He's a legend. He's like Inoki for fucking Britain,
right.
Playing chess with Nigel and them talking through strategy about how they would try to defeat technical, wunderkind.
Sometimes you take a step backward and then you take a step forward and all that shit. That's good.
And then Nigel puts him in checkmate. It's like, and he's like, now do that at Forbidden Door. Yeah. And Johnny Saint has a history with both these dudes because Nigel was one of the very best technical wrestlers of his own time. Mm-hmm. And Zack Sabre Jr. is the best technical wrestler of this time or maybe
all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't say that with a definitive statement, but Jesus, dude. Zack Sabre Jr. is amazing.
He is incredible. And Daniel Garcia is in the corner of Nigel and wearing weird bell-bottom suit pants. Like
he's in the dojo. He's training.
Yeah, I think it was like a
thing.
dojo look he was going for. I actually thought the look was kind of cool. A lot of people were like, I just didn't get it. And I'm like, what's to get? I mean, it's just like you like it or you don't,
Right, yeah, he's just wearing clothes. It's fine. Something else I don't get is the IWGP Championship, which is just a big, ugly piece of plastic. I'm sorry. I've given it time. I try to be one of those guys that says, well, let's try it out and see where it goes. No,
3 years in.
It's terrible. The best thing I can say is I kind of like I've come to like the side plates, and that's pretty much it.
It's disgusting. It's an abomination. It replaced the greatest single title belt I have ever seen in pro wrestling history.
Yes.
And I used to love Big Gold. I think the AEW world title is gorgeous.
I liked remember that one Ring of Honor had? Might have been like when Adam Cole, before they switched to the one they have now. You know what I'm talking about? And it was like a little more ornate and it had red on it and stuff. Yep. I really liked that one a lot too.
Doesn't Athena kind of have the women's version of that belt still?
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really liked that title. That was a really cool looking belt. But I think...
But that IWGP, the old one, was so cool.
The V4 is like... Right. If I had any replica belt ever made, it would be that belt. For sure.
Correct.
I loved how it had all the previous title holders on the side plates.
Mm-hmm. So and it had elements from previous versions of the belt worked in.
Yep. It looked like
a
title people had fought for centuries.
Yes.
It looked
magical.
Like a literal piece of treasure that... people have had to wrestle over.
Yeah, 100%. It was beautiful. And now it's gone.
But
the match was amazing.
But hey, we have the unified title, which kind of looks like that belt a little bit.
And speaking of the belt, I loved when what's the name of the New Japan announcer?
Shibata.
No, the announcer.
His name's Shibata.
I'm sorry, not the announcer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Walker Stewart.
I loved when he said, in reference to that title, the most prized belt overall. And there was like this weird awkward pause, and it was just like this little playful back and forth between him and the AEW announcers of, well, I don't know if I agree
Excalibur
with that.
goes, that's a matter of opinion, Walker.
That's what it was. I liked that.
I like the little bit of tension. Why wouldn't Walker think that? And why wouldn't Excalibur be like, fuck you?
That's the point of the Forbidden Door. The door's not forbidden, but sometimes you're going to trip on the way in, and that was cool.
Then these dudes proceed to have one of just the most fun, engaging, awesome displays of technical virtuoso wrestling that you're going to see. Yes. This is one of my favorite matches on this show, and there wasn't a ton of big moves. I knew, Zack Sabre Jr., Antoine and I were talking about, is it Konosuke Takeshita or is it Zack Sabre Jr. is the best wrestler in the world right now? We were going, there is a case to be made for both. There's also a case to be made for about 5 other guys, right? Yeah. Male wrestlers currently. And my personal pick is Konosuke Takeshita. His pick is Zack Sabre Jr. You can't go wrong either way, okay? No. And they're so different from each other, and they're so good respectively at what they're doing that neither's really wrong, right? But
no, that's what I was going to say is for what he does, I would say Zack Sabre Jr. is the best. Yep. But he doesn't do what Takeshita does. So,
right.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer. And
the drama that Zack Sabre can bring with primarily just straight up technical wrestling is so good. But Degree, Bryan Danielson was on commentary for this one. I love that Danielson was, he's like, I'm retired. I don't have, the grudges that I used to have kind of thing. Even if Nigel wants to shit on me, I'm not going to shit on him. But he's out of his league. And
he even both of these guys have good uppercuts, not as good as my uppercut.
Yeah, there was a couple little strays that flew out of his mouth.
I thought Danielson was great all night. I loved him on commentary. I love the guy that explains the moves like they're fucking real. Yes. I love that. Taz does it from time to time, and
he was great. Just having a great fucking time too. You could really feel his energy coming through. But I loved him being on this match particularly because these are two of his greatest rivals, really. Right. And you look at Sabre and him had 2 matches. They each won one. I was in attendance for one of them. For the first one where Danielson won in front of his hometown. Nice. And it was a fantastic match. And, the best technical wrestling match I've ever seen in person. And anyway, these two go back and forth. I'm thinking there's a Daniel Garcia heel turn. Gonna rear its head. That. It's coming. It's coming. Okay.
It's definitely coming, and I don't know where it's coming and who it's going to be with. Maybe it'll be with Nigel. I mean, I guess it might have to be. It seems like they're kind of connected at this point.
I don't know where it's coming. I don't know who it's coming on, but it's coming.
He's coming on somebody.
He's coming on somebody. And so I think they were trying to put that thought out there very hard. Sure. When Daniel had the towel wrapped around his neck, it's like, oh, he's going to throw in that towel.
Right.
And one thing that Walker said, actually, I got this wrong the first time we taped this. It was Walker who said that Zack Sabre compares his style to freeform jazz. Yeah. And then asked Danielson, can you see where he's coming from with that? And Danielson goes, yeah, absolutely. And he just riffed this. I thought it was so good. Best bit of commentary the whole night was he goes, well, yeah, because Nigel is a man with a plan. You saw him playing chess with Johnny Saint. He wants a plan, and he's going to stick to that plan. And rest assured, he is extremely prepared, and he's got a plan. Zach responds to his plan and counteracts his plan in real time. And, for instance, when Zach wrestled Konosuke Takeshita in the playoffs of the G1, every time Takeshita would throw a strike at him, it was like you're feeding him. You're giving him your arm. And Zach's going to counteract you. He doesn't know how he's going to get there. But he's so quick in the moment.
But all he needs to do is get a hold of it.
All he needs to do is get a hold of it. And if you give him a limb, you're taking a risk. Even if it's a punch. You know?
I mean, that's one of the things I had noticed, I mean, in all of his matches, but when I was watching yesterday, and it's just like, these dudes, one guy grabs the other guy's wrist and doesn't let go for probably like a straight 5 minutes. At least it feels like. And they're just creating all this stuff, and you don't know. Are you just coming up with this on the fly? Is all this out of nowhere? I mentioned it to you offline. My wife walked in one time when I was watching Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson and stopped what she was doing, and she's not a wrestling fan, and stopped and said, this looks real. What is this? I know it's worked, but this looks like wrestling. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are nuts. He's doing stuff that's, it's really off the charts. I love it. I think it's great. Feels like dancing.
It really does. And it just feels like, the story of the match is that, and you kind of know that this is going to happen, right? It's like they're gentlemen. They're wrestling each other. Zach is a world-class in-match shit talker. So he's talking his shit to Nigel. But they're taking turns besting each other, kind of. And finally, the moment comes where Nigel's just had enough of this shit, and he fucking hits Zach with a real European uppercut because Zach's bleeding from the nose very quickly after that. Zach Selling being really fucked up from this shot.
Yes.
And that's where Danielson starts talking. They start trading uppercuts. And the match starts to get a little more physical, a little more intense. And until you get to that moment, Tower of London spot with Nigel. You see, Zach hits the Zach driver. They're kind of more impact moves. But it's really just a simple trading of cradles that leads to Nigel getting pinned.
I loved how Sabre constantly sold this. He had this expression on his face, and I noticed it after he got the bloody nose, where it was just, oh, shit. Oh, this old man can still go. I didn't expect that this old man was going to go this way. But then as the commentators kind of brought up, too, he's just a younger guy. The younger guy just... He's cocky. He's got a little more power. He's got a little more strength. And he ended up winning it in the end.
Right. But, these guys are clearly dream opponents for each other. They didn't wrestle in singles matches, I don't believe, previously. But Nigel retired in 2011, and so him and Zach was just ascending. Zach is 40 years old or close to it.
Really?
He looks incredibly young, but he is not. And
I
so,
did not believe that. Holy cow.
Yeah, Zach has been wrestling for a very long time himself, but Nigel began his career in the States. He actually didn't begin his career in the UK. He actually trained in the UK once he had been wrestling in the States for a while. And so him and John Moxley come from the same place. They come from the same training spot. So
that's crazy.
Les Thatcher trained them both. So kind of wild, but great match. Excellent finish. Nothing from Daniel Garcia, which kind of surprised me.
Even up to the end when he comes up and did he put his arm around?
Well, he was being a little extra during the match. He was being a little bothersome. Yes.
Right. And then at the very end, I'm like, well, this is where the turn comes. And he still didn't. He just held his hand up. And Tony Khan doesn't rush shit.
He doesn't rush shit.
I mean, I'm sure there's now you're going to get a million comments that are like, actually, Tony Khan rushed it and this and this and this.
Please leave us those comments. It increases engagement. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. He doesn't. It's not just you're waiting for the turn. We are all waiting for it. It's going to happen in 6 months, and when it does, it's going to be hopefully sweet. But
or the turn could happen in another week. It could happen this week on Dynamite.
I've learned that if I try to predict AEW booking, I'm always wrong. So
well, yeah,
I don't even bother. Maybe I'm right down the road, but
I think Danny's. It's coming, and it probably will be with Nigel. I just think when that happens, we don't know. But Zach takes the win. It's a clean pin. They shake hands respectfully. Yes. And match over. I was kind of shocked that nothing happened with Danny. However, they immediately cut backstage, and Tekla and Queen Aminata are beating the shit out of each other.
And apparently have been fighting since their match earlier in the night.
On the pre-show.
Right? For like an hour they've been backstage.
Which had happened like an hour and a half before.
Right. And that spills out onto the entrance ramp, which is great because, again, we keep talking about put more focus on the women's division, put more focus. You need to have stories beyond just the world title. And here we finally have one. And then what happened?
And then the Triangle of Madness, which I am no longer going to shit on that name. Okay.
It's fine.
Like, it's a bad name, but their entrance is so good now that they made it work.
Their little prayer circle.
Oh, it's so good.
Witchy thing.
I fucking love it, man.
Dude.
I love it.
I love spooky gimmicks. They're just cool. All three of them are cool.
And Tekla was the missing ingredient with Julia and Sky. They come out. to gang up on Aminata. And Tekla, is enjoying this beatdown shit.
Doing
and then
her spider thing.
She gets into the spider pose, and fucking Jamie goddamn Haters music hits. I'm so happy she's back. I think she might have had a concussion issue, which was keeping her out.
They haven't said,
Yeah, they haven't said. I know she got hurt in the match with Mercedes. She did take a small package like a DDT at the very end of the match, which couldn't have been good for brain health. She comes out and just beats the living tar out of Julia and Sky. Tekla runs away before much can happen.
Right.
But you do remember Tekla was the storyline reason why Jamie Hayter was out of action, because Jamie was going to speak and the lights went down, and that was Tekla's first introduction into AEW. And all she did was hit her with a forearm, and she's been injured for months.
Well, that's
because they had to be
Tekla
very
is.
Careful with how they did the physicality, apparently.
And I will say at this moment, for as much as we constantly talk about the women's division, boost your women's division, I have been so caught up in what they've been doing lately. With Triangle of Madness, with Willow, Statlander, everything. I forgot Jamie Hayter even existed. When she came back, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, I totally forgot. When her music hit, I was like, oh, that's right. Holy shit.
She still works
Jamie
here.
Hayter. Yeah, I was so excited because it caught me so off guard. Because I had, again, I guess I'm saying a testament to what they've been doing. It really just surprised me. It was great. I was so happy to see her.
And Jamie looked so happy to be back. She was like really energetic, and it was awesome. It was just an awesome moment. And she wants revenge on Tekla. I think they are going to do this blood and guts thing, and I think maybe Jamie's the last ingredient into that blood and guts thing. So you got the Triangle of Madness, Megan Bayne and Penelope. And then you have on the other side, you have Aminata, you have either Anna Jay or Ty Mello, you have, or maybe both,
or both.
Yeah, you have Aminata, you have Willow, you have Jamie Hayter. I mean, that's a hell of a good blood and guts match if you want to go that route. So,
and you can do the whole. Well, I don't know. What's Willow and Stat right now? They're not friends, right?
They're not friends.
They keep going back and forth. I was going to say you could kind of tease that back and forth. You could have a "Why didn't you ask me?" From Stat. So there's ways to open that into new stories. So.
Yes. No, it's exciting where this is headed, but everybody seems to think it's headed towards blood and guts. I think AEW would be trying to throw cold water on it by now if they weren't going to do that, because a lot of the fan base is talking about it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then we throw to a match that, I will be honest, I really expected this to go a very particular way. It did not.
Me too.
And I wasn't really all that hyped about it. And then it happened. And it was really, 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 really fun.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Did I explain my rating system on this show? I don't think I did. It was on a different show that nobody's going to hear. So the way I rate matches is pretty complicated, but bear with me, okay? Degree, you with me?
I'm trying. I'm going to take some notes.
We're going to have to be on the same page.
Yeah, I'm doing my best, man. You hit me earlier. I mean, you hit my ear.
You have some minor head trauma. It's not.
It
that
wasn't
big.
even my face.
Stopped
it was
bleeding.
my fucking ear.
It stopped
how much
bleeding,
that hurts?
though. Stop it. Stop. We're live. We're not live. I'll edit this. No,
This isn't live?
No.
I'm sorry, Blake. I'm sorry.
Do you just think I start talking every time you hit play on your phone?
I just assume you live in my car, in my phone.
Yeah. That's weird that you were comfortable with that. Anyway, we're going to...
I cover up the camera. I put a piece of duct tape over the camera just to be safe.
Disgusting, the way you live.
At least I'm not in your fucking box anymore, man.
Well, not currently. So my very sophisticated rating system, it's a little more complicated than Meltzer's. Okay, so he's got 5 stars.
I'll say.
And he goes quarter stars, Right. Sometimes he breaks the scale. Nobody ever breaks my scale, okay? Because it's so precise. There's bad, which means bad match, didn't enjoy. Then there's fun, which means fun match, really enjoyed. And that's it. Did you get all that?
Could you...
Fun.
You're recording this, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just rewind and listen to it again.
I'll send you the raw audio. It's going to be a podcast. You can actually, I'll start talking when you hit play on your phone. Yeah.
Huh.
You'll be talking too.
How about that?
Have you ever thought about that? Like why you start talking when you hit play?
Yeah, because I'm on these now. I don't have to listen to those ones anymore because I lived them.
Yeah, but
I only listen to the ones I'm not on.
Oh, got it.
Because that's new information for me.
I just like to hear myself talk, so I listen to all of them.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
You should try listening to the show you're on.
I did give myself the name Professor Degree despite only having a high school education. So maybe I would like to hear myself talk.
Yeah, maybe you would.
Maybe there's just fucking ego. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe if you liked it more, I wouldn't have to hear it as much. You know what I mean?
That's true. But you have to edit it.
So anyway, thank you.
So
good point. You're really on fire today.
I am with you. We are like fucking. Who are those two guys that used to be in those movies? Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. We're fucking comedy gold, baby.
We
are. The
We're
match.
crushing it.
I wasn't really. I knew it would be good because these guys are always good. But like, I wasn't. I didn't care either. I just, I know it's going to be a good match, but I wasn't like mega excited for it.
Well, and they tried to set it up to make it a little more unpredictable last month where they had a triple threat at All In that the Hurt Syndicate won. Everybody thought that was a way for them to not take a pin and lose. Right. But they won. And I thought that was smart booking because it puts at least a little bit of doubt into this match. But I felt so. It's the Hurt Syndicate versus BRODIDO, brand new, just formed tag team. Brody King and Bandito, my son, Bandito. And then FTR with Big Stoke. I thought they're setting this up so that Cope and Christian are going to wrestle FTR in Canada for the titles.
For the belts. Same here.
They're wrestling in Toronto. That's where these guys are from. Of course they're going to do that. Oh, what tangled webs we don't weave. MVP wasn't there, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
There have been rumors that MVP is not happy or that they're not happy with MVP. I'm not sure what the deal is with that.
Okay.
But that he's been hard to work with on some level and that there's some kind of heat on him.
Okay.
I just thought it was weird.
Apparently he hates Mike Bailey, right?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. I thought it was weird he wasn't in this involved in this match because this is a big show, Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So that was a little weird to me, but I thought maybe they're using that as a way for them to lose somehow.
Right.
And maybe it was.
Because the coach isn't there.
Right, the coach. And so this match was fun because it presented a lot of opportunities to see things that you wouldn't ordinarily think of. Like, for instance, I had never thought of how cool it would be to see Brody King and Bobby Lashley in the same ring at the same time.
Right.
We saw that. The crowd went fucking crazy for this.
The crowd was crying for Brody. They
played it so perfectly.
Yeah.
They kept Brody out of the ring for so long. And he's just getting so frustrated and so frustrated. By the way, how cute was it that Bandito wore a Brody boots?
Dude, I noticed that too. And they got their little thing on the Tonytron. And they're a team now. Yeah, I love that. And like when they first started with like their little secret handshake and stuff, I love... we haven't seen proper good guys in a long time in wrestling. And I love getting guys that are buddies, Yep. They're just, you get the impression. And apparently those guys are actually friends in real life.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I think it shows and it's really cool. The camaraderie, Kind of like you and me, Blade, when you're not shoving me in a fucking box, making me sleep in my own piss and shit. Which I love because I love you.
Yeah, exactly. Because
you're great, and I love you.
You had a good time.
I did. It was good. But yeah, those guys are awesome, and their boots are awesome, and you can buy those boots as shoes now.
Yes,
which is fucking cool.
Brody's literally got a deal with Adidas. Like that's wild.
I love that dude. In any other era, he would be the biggest, scariest monster in the world, which he is. But because of fan interactions. Where he's just if you've ever met the guy, if you never get the chance, try to, because he's such a sweetheart. He's so charming. I made him blush. I told him, like, this is going to hurt your rep, dude. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. So because of fan interactions and because of his personal ethics, you don't have a choice, dude. We're forcing you to turn face. Sorry. Sorry, you're a face now. We just love you. And he's badass. I mean, I liked him even before I was cheering him, but to know who he is in real life, oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
I also love that he's not being tethered to an injured person. You know,
Yes,
it's like,
'cause that happens.
Jesus Christ. Like, I think the original plan was for Hounds of Hell to take it off Hurt Syndicate. I think that was the original plan. Then Buddy gets hurt. I am a Buddy supporter. Okay. I like Buddy a lot. Buddy Matthews is great.
I agree.
He's injured a lot. It happens a lot. So I'm just glad that Brody's on TV. He's getting noticed.
Yes.
The Abolish ICE thing got him all over network television.
Love it.
And now you can't not have him on TV. And
Yeah.
so it ended up helping his career massively.
Yep.
But
It's awesome.
very good match. Lots of fun stuff. FTR are just the ring generals of this whole thing. You can tell they're running spots and helping everybody figure out where to be. Toward the end of the match, Bandito does this, and he does this in all of his singles matches, but when he goes to the top turnbuckle with a guy, and he's got him like Scott Hall used to do this move where he would just do a back suplex over his head and fall to the mat, except Bandito does a fucking backflip with the guy. They are gathered on the outside.
Yeah.
It's the Hurt Syndicate, and it's FTR and Brody. And Dax and Bandito are at the top. Bandito does the backflipping fucking body slam suplex thing to the outside.
Yeah.
On top of all these people, and everyone with a heart is immediately worried for the life of both of them, but mostly Dax, because it's like, dude, I hope he's okay. And he was fine.
Yeah, how'd you land? Yeah.
Dude.
You've been making the point for a while that Bandito is climbing up there. He's climbing up to the top shelf. He's one of the fucking best in that company and in the world. He's reaching that Ospreay, Fletcher, Kenny level. Like,
Oh, he is.
and it's great. I love seeing it, you know?
I just love seeing him get over the way he is. I was very fortunate that I got to see him. The first ever Defy show that I went to here locally, he was on the show. He wasn't like a total unknown, but he wasn't in Ring of Honor yet.
Okay.
And I loved his mask. I loved his gimmick. I loved everything about this guy. I think he was in a trios match. And it was the same night I saw Darby Allin for the first time. And
oh, wow. Okay.
he was Cody Rhodes' replacement on that show. And I was like, what the fuck? Cody's not here? Who the fuck is Darby Allin?
Little did you know.
Wasn't asking that question later.
No.
I was very pleased with Darby Allin being the replacement. That was also probably the first time I ever saw Brody, because he wrestled in Defy all the time. I met him before he went to Ring of Honor and all that. But anyway, these guys just have this very physical match. Bandito's getting his ass beat for most of it. At one point, what I really loved, where you see that Lashley's got some real respect for these younger guys, is he does Bandito's suplex spot on one of FTR, where he holds him with one arm and starts doing the counting. And then he drops him later in the match. Bandito almost does it to Bobby Lashley. Like, he almost gets Bobby Lashley up for the suplex. I don't think physically it's possible for Bobby to balance himself on Bandito, because, you know, that's part of it, is a wrestler balancing for you. I don't think Bobby literally can, because he's so much bigger. But Bandito is incredible. Like,
It's an A for effort.
Almost anything.
He can. He's way stronger than you'd think he is.
Yeah. And so it gets to the point in the match where they're all, you know, they've been fighting. It looks like the Hurt Syndicate's about to take it. Honestly, I wasn't even going to complain, because it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then these dudes in New Japan tracksuits show up.
Right.
And I'm like, who the fuck in New Japan is as big as that guy?
That's what I thought.
And at first, it's just two dudes, and they're both very big, and they're beating the shit out of the Hurt Syndicate, and they're beating them down, and they're beating them down, and they're beating them down the ramp, and, like, you know, away from the ring. And then another guy in a tracksuit shows up. But there's all these big spots happening in the ring at the same time, and props to production, because they didn't miss anything.
No.
That was not easy to do.
No. Because they were going up the ramp away from the ring.
Yes, and they have to cut back to them and then make sure they catch the big thing happening in the ring. So somehow, also another thing that happened in this match that happened earlier that I forgot to mention is that Brody and Cash Wheeler do an accidental shatter machine together on on one of the guys in the Hurt Syndicate. That was really funny and very cool spot. But they heart like unprotected chair shot with a gimmick chair to Brody. While these guys are taking their masks off, the camera keeps cutting back and forth, but you see the full chair shot, and then they immediately cover Brody. So the rest counting, you see these guys unmask. It's Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Yeah. Give me that fucking feud. The Gates of Agony have been in dire need of a big push.
And they finally figured out how to do it. Yeah.
And they're with Ricochet. Ricochet has owed the Hurt Syndicate for like almost a year.
Yeah.
And they showed a backstage interview after the show where Ricochet plays that whole segment of MVP clowning on him and saying nobody likes a kiss ass.
Right. They fucking embarrassed him so bad. And he's just been waiting.
At the time, people said they buried him. Like, they just buried Ricochet. What are they doing?
Yep.
Because that segment really wasn't good, especially if Ricochet was supposed to be a babyface who was flirting with the idea of turning heel. Instead, it launched Ricochet into the stratosphere because this guy has turned being a chicken shit nerd into his whole personality. And he finally got his revenge on these guys.
After a full year, golden scissors, all that nastiness, they finally bring it back, and it's like, oh, you get the payoff. You get paid for paying attention. You know, you get your little prize here. Like, hey, remember that? Yeah, we didn't forget either. You know,
no, and I immediately knew why Ricochet would want to do it. You know, they showed him being involved with MJF on Dynamite, and so you could think that was the reason. But I'm like, no, even Ricochet on his own has owed these motherfuckers forever, and they never went back to it, and they just moved on. And so, in the meantime, Brody has taken a fucking unprotected chair shot to the head. He is down on the mat, and he kicks out at 2. And this is like all kinds of crazy. They go up for the Power and Glory spot, where they do the superplex and the big splash. But Bandito pushes Cash off the top rope, and so when Dax hits the superplex on Brody, Bandito hits a frog splash on Dax. And then they and Brody's like lying on his back. He's perfectly positioned. You can see them preparing to do that monkey flip splash.
Which is so fun.
It's such a cool move. It doesn't quite land the way you would want it to ideally. And I think it's because everybody was a little too sweaty, honestly.
Sure.
And then they start counting the 2, and Bandito lets the pin go, I think because his mask was coming off.
Okay.
And he like readjusts his max, and then they count the 3. So it was a bit of a bummer on the actual 3 count. But goddamn, what a shock that Brodito are your new tag team champions. I was marking the fuck out for this.
That's one of those great moments where you pull the trigger on something like that, and it's such a wonderful payoff as a fan. So much fun. And you can do it because both of those guys have such a future in the company. They can hold the belts for a week and lose them, and it's fine. It doesn't, you know what I mean?
They don't need to be tag team champions forever. They can be tag team champions for a few days. I mean, they can lose them on Dynamite. Things,
you know, when the Outrunners were kind of coming up, and there was a minute, you know, we've heard the backstage stuff that the Bucks were, you know, kind of wanted to drop the belts to them or whatever.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, okay, but we got to make sure this isn't just a fad. We got to make sure this is a real thing. But with Brodito, you don't really have to worry about that because, again, both of these guys are fucking awesome on their own. Both of them are going to be awesome when they split down the road. And I don't mean feud, but just, you know, when they go their separate ways. Right. So it's a solid investment. It just makes sense. Give them the belts and let the fans love it, you know?
Yep. And the split the team will have benefited them both as singles wrestlers when they do split because Brody will get a big push as a singles guy, and so will Bandito. I don't. Bandito could be the world champion if he did it right.
He could be
like he's got that level of in ring or the unified champion.
I was just gonna say that might be. His match quality is awesome. The only other notes I have for this match is that I love the fact that the Hurt Syndicate, I mean, and this is kind of after the fact, so it doesn't really matter. I just love that their gimmick is just that they're fucking athletes. Yep. We're just athletes. We just come in here and we fucking beat you, and we're mean about it, and we kind of are like, we're going to make fun of you a little bit, but mostly they're just athletes, and they don't really, they're kind of like a no gimmicks needed thing. And again, I just threw it in there because it's in my notes, because I do really
it's
like
so
the
true,
Hurt
though.
Syndicate.
Look,
and I think I love the way they fucking circle you like sharks, and it's scary, and Shelton Benjamin gets that fucking, like, it's like a smile, kind of a grimace on his face, and you're just like, God, I don't want to fuck with this guy. He's terrifying. They're just cool.
They're just both very special athletes, and they're so much bigger than the most of the people in AEW that the intimidation factor is so profound.
Yeah.
And I think,
well, and they're so cool about it. They don't really need to intimidate you. They just are fucking intimidating.
Yes. And you know? I don't know what the deal is with them. I hope they stick around for a long time, because I don't think they would get the same shot at anything in WWE. No. But I think with Lashley, I'll see Shelton wrestle for 5 minutes of a match, and I'll be like, man, Shelton kind of carries this team because he's so good.
Yeah.
And then Lashley will come in and do some incredible shit, and you're like, dude, nobody's carrying this team. They are so good.
I didn't give him, like, my memories of Bobby Lashley are like when he was fucking on Trump's side at WrestleMania.
Right, he was Donald Trump,
right? And his Titantron said, soft-spoken. Like, well, it's not really very cool. So my memory of him, like, I hardly watched anything in between. And when he had that match with Swerve, I remember just being like, oh shit, Bobby Lashley can go. I didn't realize,
Still a monster.
And Shelton is the guy that makes me, he does not make me mad, but I get mad every time I see him, because in a perfect world, I feel like Shelton Benjamin would have been a world champion several times over. I think he would have been, he should have been, whatever, your AJ Styles or whoever. Like, Shelton Benjamin he is his skill level is so high. He blows me away every time. So it pisses me off, because I'm like, fucking A, this guy should have been the champ a million times.
He should have been. Anyway. And if you found him, if you put him with Paul Heyman, or somebody, I'm talking about years ago, they could find somebody, MVPs with him now. But like, if they had put him with Paul Heyman and put him in a 2-man thing with Brock, like back in 2003, like, he would not have
been a big deal.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a big deal at all.
It feels like he was just focused as like a high flyer or something, and it never really.
And he was black. I think that's a really tangible reason why a lot of people didn't get their due. I don't think WWE ever quite used Booker to his full potential.
No. I
mean, we all know the story with Booker, at WrestleMania 19, also in the arena for that, but not proud. But yeah, so
segue,
not proud. Speaking of people who shouldn't be proud.
Oh, despicable. Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada for the Unified Championship. Swerve looking fucking awesome. Mr. Terrific was like my favorite part of that Superman movie. So as soon as he came out, it's like, oh, of course, of course.
And Mr. Terrific was dope in that movie. Like, he was amazing.
That's what I was just, that's what I mean. Like, he was just, I loved him in the movie. So, Swerve coming out in that gear, it's like perfect. I love it. I love when he did the Warriors gear. Like, Swerve always has cool fucking outfits. Again, these guys were just big match feel, big fight feel with both of these guys. I loved it.
A couple things. Something that really occurred to me during this match is Swerve has wrestled a lot less since he took that time off after All Out last year.
Okay.
He just hasn't wrestled as much. And I was like, well, maybe they're just like, he's a bigger star now. He doesn't wrestle every week. But Tony wrestles every week. She's a huge star, Right. And then when the report came out that he had a torn meniscus that he's been wrestling on since 2019,
and having
because
these
this guy is that
matches,
committed to reaching his dreams, right?
Mm-hmm. And helping the entire company.
Yes.
You know what I
mean? It made so much sense.
Yeah.
And I did not think he was going to win this match.
No.
But Brett and I were messaging last night. Brett is not on the show today, folks, because she's not feeling well. But, she'll be feeling better by the time you hear this because...
He put her in the box.
Oh, come on. Everybody gets a turn, you know what I mean? I've been in there plenty.
Yeah, but you want to be in there.
No. I'm maybe the first 3 or 4 times.
She's not in the box because there's no fucking way you could put her in that box.
That's true. She did claw my ass. Brett would kick my ass. That's true. Okay. So this match,
but what were you talking about with her?
Well, so she and I were talking about how, yes, Swerve is like a badass. Yes, he's got a great gimmick. Yes, he's over. But this guy's selling and storytelling, in-ring storytelling, incredible. This whole match, he's selling that knee. The reports have come out. It was a very strategic release of that information, is my thought. I didn't think he was going to beat Okada. And then they gave him the perfect out for why he would lose.
Yeah.
And Okada wins kind of cleanish,
Right.
I've really liked the turn into just dark as fuck Okada.
Yeah.
Where he's not the funny bitch guy anymore. He's like, I'm going to fucking destroy you. And I don't want to win this match. I want to end your career. And
it's very clear.
Yes.
He did that thing to Swerve's knee on the turnbuckle where he had him like folded up.
Yeah.
I have it written. They just called it a knee breaker. Yeah. And it was all this premeditated, really just rough stuff. I loved on commentary. I think commentary was totally on point this whole show as far as selling all these different like aspects of the matches. Like they were talking about Okada focusing on Swerve's knee, and Don Callis is just like, well, of course he's got a weak knee. And then he looks at Danielson and he's like, what do you think, Brian? Like, you're a wrestler. And Danielson's like, yeah, I got to agree with you. Like, that's solid strategy. You got to go for the knee. I really, really like it when the announcers are good at, the commentators are good at telling you the story, because that's their job, of course. And I thought they were really super good at that all night tonight.
Well, and they were kind of all over Okada. The Tony Schiavone was like, what a coward, going after his knee, blah, blah, blah. And Danielson's like, honestly, it's fair game.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what you do.
Yep.
He called him one of the highest IQ wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with. Yep. I love that line. That's a killer line.
He was really good on commentary.
He is.
Danielson was really, really, really
He's
good.
Delightful. Yeah,
yes.
He really was. That's the word I kept. He put a smile on my face the whole show.
Absolutely. And this is a very back and forth match. Some really cool shit. Swerve takes several Rainmakers. I think he's one of the first people I've seen who has actually survived a Rainmaker in AEW.
Oh, wow.
In New Japan, Okada might Rainmaker in a big match like 4 or 5 times and survive.
Okay, yeah.
But in America, you take the Rainmaker, it's over. And so Swerve might be the first guy to really survive a lot of that. And then I also really liked, there was one sequence where Okada tried to, wrap the arm around for the whiplash to whiplash him in, and he ducks, kicks Okada's leg. Okada falls on his ass and he hits him with a house call. And can't make the cover because his knee's fucked up.
Right.
And Okada just beats him. He just beats him. Yeah. And you know what? That's fine. But then that's not the end.
Then he fucking beat him. He stuck his his leg in between the stair steps, which was and he just immediately does it. He doesn't wait.
Nope.
You know what I mean? He just goes right, you know what? This is what I really wanted to do this whole time. And then somebody came back looking beefier than ever.
Right. And Nana's trying to get in his face, and keep him from...
Oh, it was Wardlow, if you didn't watch, by the way.
Yeah, doing too much damage. But then, through the crowd, I believe, was it through? No, it was from the ramp, wasn't it? I don't remember anymore. Yeah,
I don't know. He just was there.
He was just there in a suit.
He just was there. Yeah.
And some people were like, "He got fat," and I'm like, I really doubt that. He was just on American Gladiators.
He got big.
Yeah, he got really big. And he comes back, and, we're used to Wardlow being this kind of everyman babyface, and he didn't feel like playing that game.
No.
He attacked Swerve, and then he attacked Nana and beat the living piss out of Prince Nana.
That's how you get heat with me.
Yes, absolutely. And they're writing these guys off for a while.
Yep.
Like Swerve's going to be gone for a while.
Right.
And that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And as the Callis family gathers to kind of celebrate the joining of Wardlow to the Callis family, everybody comes out kind of to no music.
Smiling. Yeah.
And then the music hits of the one guy you notice isn't there.
Right.
The G1 winner, Konosuke Takeshita. And he comes out and he sizes up Wardlow. He's already got tension with Okada. Mm-hmm. Takeshita a year ago this time was the focus of the Callis family.
Yeah.
He's far from it now.
And he keeps getting pushed in the back, yeah.
He keeps getting pushed to the side for Kyle. He got pushed to the side for Okada. Mm-hmm. So he gives everybody the nod like, I'm cool with this. I don't think he's cool.
But he's not cool, no.
And Swerve being written off, that's a big deal, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The other guy getting written off currently is who might be out a real long time. We'll get to that. Yeah. That's a really big deal.
Because Swerve will be back. Swerve's on he's on advertising for a few months from now. Yeah. The other guy's not on any of the advertising right now, which may or may not mean anything.
He could be out for a year or more. Yeah. But if his head stays on his body, that's a good thing. But this forces them to go find top baby faces on the men's side.
Right.
And fucking Konosuke Takeshita's your dude. If it's up to me,
right?
Konosuke Takeshita's your guy. Have him win the fucking C2.
Yeah.
Have him win the C2 and the G1, and have him fucking tell Okada, now who's the best tournament wrestler of all time.
Especially if he ends up winning the IWGP title, which I don't know if they would tie all that together, but...
Well, they did announce today that Takeshita will not be doing it at Wrestle Kingdom. He's going to be doing it in October. So
interesting. Okay.
That's a Zach did it last year. So I just hope he wins. I hope he wins the IWGP, because if he has the IWGP title and he wins the C2 and the G1 all in 1 year, he's equal to Okada, kind of an accomplishment in 1 year,
right.
Or in 6 months, really.
Right.
So
that's a big
could create a
shot right there.
Very interesting story, and a great feud.
And I think at this point, it's not the Don Callis family. It's the fucking Don Callis army, dude. I mean,
oh my God.
So many of them.
They are so loaded. Loaded.
It's time. I mean, I love Don Callis. I know you guys do too. Push them as the big heels right now.
I think so.
We're there,
I think so. I think,
especially if Hechicero gets the Ring of Honor belt, which he could, I'd like to see that personally.
I'm not going to complain if he does.
No.
He could beat Bandito. I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
But we got another very
controversial.
This is the most controversial part of the show.
And I wonder, well, we'll get into it, but I wonder if the ending of this could even be also because a couple of people who are big stars are going to be gone. But Timeless Tony Storm versus Athena. Mm-hmm. What was Tony Storm? Was she like a Russian circus performer? What was exactly
somebody called it out. It's a performer from Britain that I'm not familiar with.
I don't know what it was.
It was meant
exactly.
to get the it was for the locals, really.
Okay.
It was cool looking. It looked cool.
Yep.
I think some famous dancer or something. So I had Athena for this, and I thought Athena really needed this. I really felt like this is your moment to make a new star for the women.
And I felt like AEW needs it.
AEW needed it. I'm going to say this right off the top. It is a really good match. Athena is in control almost the entire match.
And the announcers are selling it about kind of like the Orange Cassidy thing, where it's like Tony's been building up injuries. She's been wrestling all these big matches. That takes its toll on you.
Right.
And they really sold it so much that, I thought Athena was going to win walking into it. And then during the match, like you are saying now, and Athena was more and more convinced.
Crazy shit to Tony. I mean, she kicked her head into the ring post several times.
Oh, Tony's laying right next to the ring post, and Athena takes her by her legs and pushes her legs, and it slams her head in. Oh man, that was good stuff. Good Looney Tunes stuff. I love it.
That was fucking crazy because it looked like death. I mean, it really looked bad. Well, another thing I really liked in this match was like right at the beginning, Athena whips Tony to whip her off the ropes, and Tony jumps out and immediately pile drives Billy Starks on the floor. Yeah, right. Like just right at the top of the match. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But Athena really does dominate Tony throughout this entire match. And Tony selling her neck after getting her head kicked into the fucking ring post several times. That was so vicious looking.
Yeah.
And Tony wins the match.
Right.
By tap out, which I also didn't love.
Well, there's two ways to look at that, though. I mean, there's I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
You know, I know that back in the olden days, you didn't want to tap out because it made you look weak. Whereas nowadays, I feel like with, and I think maybe this comes from MMA, I don't know. Well, just the notion that I'm tapping so you don't break my fucking arm.
Yes.
And it's a strategic move. You have to, what are you going to do? You got to wrestle again tomorrow.
Well, and she's got to defend that title against Mina, the ROH title this Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Really? Okay.
So there is some kind of incentive to.
But it was so weird. It felt weird.
Why did my whole thing is like, this didn't need to be Athena. Like.
Right, exactly.
This didn't need to be Athena. It could have been one of several other people on the roster who Tony hasn't wrestled yet. It didn't need to be her.
Would you have believed that one of those other people could have beaten her?
No.
Exactly. So maybe that's part of why.
But.
And I'm not defending it because I agree. I think Athena should have won. I'm trying to pull out, like I mentioned, with Swerve and Ospreay leaving. Maybe they are a little nervous to take the belt off her because she is such a big star. But, I mean, I think we all agree. It's weird because as wrestling fans, we sit here and we say, well, she doesn't need the belt to be on top. But to the average person who is not obsessed the way we are and doesn't look at wrestling the way we do, they might say, well, she's not the champ. How great can... You know what I mean? So,
but, I mean, you could make that argument about a bazillion people. Swerve. Yeah. You can make that argument, so it's
that's true.
People know wrestling isn't a legit sport, right? And so like my thing is, I'm not saying don't have Tony on the show. You should have her all over the show just like she is right now with her big entrance and all that stuff. 100%. But have her focused on like some smaller feuds with wrestlers who need the bump.
Right.
My thing when she beat Mercedes, I wasn't a fan of a champion challenging another champion. Okay, like defend your fucking belt. Yeah. That's what you should be focused on. Right. Whatever belt you have is your lifeblood. Right. I liked when TNA did the Plan B or Plan C or whatever, where you could trade in the belt for a shot at the world title if you wanted to. If you want to do that, fine. But I think Athena, what does being an ROH champion mean? Right? If Athena, every time she's on AEW for any sustained period of time, she loses.
Yeah.
She lost to Mercedes in a match they didn't have to book in the Owen Hart. Mm-hmm. She lost to Tony in a big pay-per-view match after winning the right to face her. Mm-hmm. It just didn't make sense to me. You could have, and this is wild, Tony didn't have to wrestle on this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do think it probably sold some pay-per-views. I'm not saying it didn't. But I just think Athena didn't need to be the one to take this loss. You could have had Willow versus Tony.
Right.
And Willow could have eaten the loss easier than Athena.
Yeah, if the only reason you booked Athena was because, it created the suspension of disbelief, whatever, that she might win, that's not a good enough reason to sacrifice Athena, I think.
Right.
Unless, and maybe there's something coming down the road. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sit here and, we could turn on Wednesday night and Athena might launch into the greatest story arc of her entire career. We'll see.
I think the loss will make more sense on Wednesday. It will. Yeah. I think that's definitely true. But what I would say is the story that nobody can beat Tony no matter how beat up she is.
Right.
Kind of like if Tony hadn't, I just need people to like, I have no problem with Tony Storm. I love Tony Storm.
Yeah.
The problem I have is with the title picture. It's not Tony. It's Tony has basically held that belt for 2 years.
Yeah.
With a 6-month interruption for Mariah May.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, she had a very long reign before she lost to Mariah, and then she had a very long reign after she won it back. She's had 2 really long title reigns. And I don't think Tony should be this unbeatable monster. I don't think that actually fits her character. Her character is more of a fucking slapstick goofball.
Right.
Who could take a pin, and I don't think this is a reflection on Tony whatsoever. She's just done her job really well.
Yeah.
And Tony wants to run with her, but he has run with her. Run with somebody else, for God's sake.
Well, and that's the thing is, if there were other, if you had more than one fucking women's story per week, you know what I mean? And and I know they do have 2 or 3. And again, earlier in the show, I was just sitting here saying how amazed I am at their women's division, but like, it's got to go somewhere. Like,
right.
Somebody's got to get that belt off of her. And I will sit here and criticize it, and I know usually they do pay off in the end. So wherever they're going with this, I do tend to trust AEW's booking. I trust Tony Khan because he's proven that I can trust him. But it's frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think my pick at this point is either Statlander, and that's why she's been like kind of on ice in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Is they're going to build her to a big run. Which I would be fine with Statlander winning. I mean, she's just very deserving.
But she's kind of directionless too. I mean, I know they're getting there with her, which I do really appreciate. But
I think maybe how she wins the world title might shape her next direction. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Go hard heel and then become an unstoppable killing machine.
Because she could be, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the possibility of Willow, which I don't think they would have their 2 biggest baby faces fighting. I just don't see it.
No.
But I think the other outside possibility is Jamie Hayter, because Jamie Hayter has said she is here to get revenge for the people who put her out. And the person who took the belt from her was Tony.
Right.
When she was injured. So
So that could be it. There you go.
Yes. So there, or she could cost her the title. I think there's.
And that might even be better. You know?
That might even be better. And then Tony has a direction to go post-champion.
Because Hayter's already held the belt couple times
before
now, right?
Once.
Yeah. So
once,
I mean, and not to say she shouldn't get it back, but I'm just,
Yeah, no, she can get it back, but
so it was
this deflated me a little bit at the time.
It was just weird.
I was on cloud fucking 9 until this moment, and this one definitely. Our friend Pippin, who you and I both know well, said at the beginning of this match, first potential crash out match of the night.
Right?
Is, like if Athena loses, we're going to be bummed,
Pippin's the guy that beat you at Jeopardy, right? Yeah, that's Pippin.
Anyway, main event.
Well, no, not quite the main event. Hey,
almost main event. Would have been a main event on any other show.
The crowd is still so loud, so into it. They're overpowering the commentary team. Something I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention earlier, I love the fact that they had a New Japan announcer in there calling every single person. It adds a touch of, I like that. It adds a touch of class to it.
I loved hearing him call Okada's name because he used to call Okada's name for every match.
Yeah, and that's what you want to hear.
Yep.
It gives it this big international flavor. You know how big the show is because they got both announcers out there.
Right.
And that's really cool. Yeah. And so that's cool. So it's Hangman Adam Page defending his championship against Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Bryan Danielson, this is in my notes here. Danielson keeps selling MJF the whole match that he is infuriating because he's so talented, but he always takes shortcuts. And Shivani responds with, I don't know if it's his upbringing or what it is, but MJF is just a bad person. And I just thought the commentary was great tonight. I thought they were really good.
They're getting so much better about like, I think organizing around the theme of the of the match and trying to really hone in on that. There was another theme in this match, which, you know, I will get to, but like, I think obviously these two are both great wrestlers. You know, you got MJF, who barely wrestles, but when he does, man, that dude doesn't fuck around. He is a great wrestler. The pop for Hangman Page was absolutely massive.
Dude. Yeah.
Like, you started smiling just thinking about it. Like,
I love good guys, man. I love that we can just cheer a fucking good guy. And with, you know, I mean, Superman in the theaters and Fantastic Four and just this notion of just like, it's cool to be a good guy. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of them in the world. So,
right.
I loved it.
And the chemistry these two have is just incredible. I mean, you know, and so we could try and describe the match move for move, but let's not. Let's.
Well, no, because I can't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Other than Hangman hitting that fucking crazy ass moonsault that one of the most. I don't think of Hangman as being an aerial guy, but God, his moonsault is just a thing of beauty.
I always say Hangman is like if you put Stan Hansen and Shawn Michaels in a blender.
Sure.
You have Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Like, he does the big lariats, he does the big strikes like Stan Hansen, but man, that dude is so agile and can fly when he wants.
He's got like that Sting kind of energy of like 90s Sting, where he was just this loud, well, he's not loud, but just this like, he's a ball of energy when he needs to be. Yeah, he's so much fun to watch.
Yep.
And MJF just has this like vaudevillian fucking, not quite comedy, but he's, like you said, he doesn't wrestle much, and it's easy to look at him and go, oh, well, he's just a talker. You know, MJF just talks. But then he gets in the ring, and you're like, no, he can fucking go. He's good.
I think him and Danielson had the greatest Iron Man match I've ever seen. I mean,
it's really good.
It was really, really good. And I think
I just watched that not too long ago.
Yeah. I've only seen it the one time, and I was just floored because I was never bored, not even for a second.
No.
There was no come down period. But what I would say about this match is the theme is, you know, obviously MJF's trying to get Hangman disqualified. He's trying to bait him into hitting him with the ring so he can be champion. He's trying to get Hangman counted out. You know, he's trying and trying and trying to do anything besides actually really pin Hangman, because he's clearly not confident that he's got what it takes to beat Hangman. And I loved the spots with Bryce Remsburg, how they made you think that Bryce didn't see the foot.
He saw everything, man.
And he saw it.
So good.
He saw it. So when MJF comes to kick his foot off, Bryce stops him.
Yeah.
When MJF puts the ring on his finger, and he's going to go to hit him, and Bryce stops him, and he looks right at the ring. Loved
and it
those
ramped
spots.
up as the match went on. They got quicker and quicker and quicker, and yeah, it was really fun.
I've heard people say, and these are anti-AEW people, that Bryce steals the attention away from the wrestlers. He's too showy a ref.
Stupid.
Bullshit. There is a time to make the referee part of the show.
Yes.
And this was that time. And so the theme of this match was none of the things that have worked for Max are working.
Yeah.
They're not working. He couldn't get away with the cheating shit. The ring didn't work. The low blows didn't work. He tried to hit Hangman with the fucking briefcase thing. He didn't work. He tried
even
to
on the way up to the match, the way he was trying to goad Hangman into losing his
None of it worked.
Hangman's like, I'm not that guy anymore. You're still trapped in your own self, but I've moved past that.
100. Everybody's caught on to MJF's shit, and it's not working.
Love it.
So there is a story here.
Yes.
I also loved the finish, which is like MJF throws his CMLL title into the ring.
Right.
Bryce starts to remove it.
Hits him with the... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, that's right. He hits Hanger with the briefcase.
The
contract thing.
Yeah.
Hanger kicks out.
The clipboard.
The clipboard. There you go. Hits him with that. And then Bryce ends up like distracted again for just a second. And Hangman is like, looks at the clipboard. He doesn't even hesitate. He just picks it up, fucking bashes MJF with it super hard. The papers go flying everywhere. In reality, the ref should see that and be like, what the fuck just happened? But and it made a very loud noise.
Referee's discretion.
Referee's discretion. And everybody's just sick of Max's shit.
Yeah.
And then Hanger, hits the Deadeye and then hits him with the fucking buckshot, and it's over 1, 2, 3. Everybody's stoked because Hangman avoids getting disqualified, counted out.
Right.
They did a great job of injecting some uncertainty into this with the right result at the end.
Yes. I thought the same thing leading into it. I thought MJF was going to lose, and now you've given me, because of the contract and all that shit with Briscoe and everything, you've made me think he might win.
Oh, and that was the other thing, was while the ref. So I loved that. Well, the particular
the ref
spot
passing out in the 3 count.
Well, yes. So Bryce gets Hangman thrown into him.
Yeah.
And he goes down. And then MJF cheats. I can't remember what he does at this exact moment. I don't know, but
Hangman ended up with his foot on the rope at that point.
But he hits that pile driver that second through the ropes.
Yeah.
That
Salt of the Earth or whatever. Is that what it's called?
It's not Salt of the Earth.
No. Salt of the Earth is the other move.
It's like Hot Shot, or I forget what it's called.
But he calls it something. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And so he hits that on Hanger. Hanger gets his foot on the rope like early. So as Bryce is coming to, he's really out of it.
Yeah.
And he counts 1, 2, and Hangman gets his foot on the rope really early. I was like, wow, Hanger didn't really drag out the drama on that one. Then Bryce counts 3, but then he passes out again.
Right.
So nobody ever rings the bell.
I don't even think he was counting a 3 as much as he passed out.
He just
mid-count.
collapsed.
And so his arm just went down, but it wasn't a count.
And MJF's like, I was champion. Yeah. I was champion.
And that's when Briscoe comes out.
Briscoe comes out, and he's trying to disrupt this whole thing so that MJF can't wake up the ref, and MJF can't beat up Hangman anymore. And he beats up some security guys before ultimately being dragged to the back. And I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
I did see a few people say this was too overbooked. I disagree. This is what you get with MJF. Yeah. This is what he brings.
Well, yeah, and the whole rest of the card is so just straightforward matches.
Yep.
If you're going to overbook one thing, that's where you do it.
This is where you do it.
Wrestling's a fucking variety show.
Yeah.
People look for so much shit to complain, like the referee thing, and it's like, dude, wrestling's an ensemble cast.
Yep.
And sometimes the referee is invisible when he needs to be, but when he doesn't need to be, he's not. Stop fucking nitpicking stupid shit that doesn't need to be nitpicked.
Well, and again, this is why my rating scale is so complicated. It was either a bad match or it was a fun match. It was a
good match, yeah.
If you had a fun time watching this match, then it succeeded.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Just chill. I just think relentlessly categorizing things and all that stuff is where we run into trouble. And I think,
well, you can't with wrestling.
What you do with AEW and why AEW is working so well is it plays to the strengths of whoever's involved in the match. WWE has a house style that everybody works. Everybody wrestles kind of similarly in WWE. The matches all kind of feel the same. It's very homogenized and corporate feeling.
They're boring. Well, and some of them aren't, but
you're not going to make Zack Sabre wrestle like Kenny Omega. No. You know what I mean? They play to the strengths of the performers.
Yeah. And if somebody lower on the card shows you up, well, then I guess you better be fucking good enough to.
Dude, I remember at Double or Nothing, Kevin Knight and Will Ospreay wrestled in the first match.
Right.
And I was like, who the fuck is going to follow this? And everybody followed.
And everybody does, because that's when you know you have to turn it up. Rather than another company where we know our main eventer isn't quite there, so we all have to dial it back to make him look good.
Right. Right.
Anyway, I mean, I wouldn't be on the show if I wasn't bitching about WWE, right? Final match. That's what I do.
I approve.
When I'm out of the box. Well, I build it up in the box, and then when I get out,
it's the WWE rage. Be mad at them, not at me.
Well, because when you put me in the box, all you let me watch was fucking Peacock Network, and
that's true.
You restricted all the ECW and the WCW, so
yeah. And the other thing,
and you restricted everything before 2000, so all I could watch was whatever aggression.
I restricted everything before 2014.
Yeah, that was just horrible.
It was only 2014 to 2019.
It was cruel. It was very cruel of you.
Well, and the other thing, too, is they're moving to ESPN, and they're going to be moving their archives off Peacock. So there's just not going to be any more entertainment in the box.
Peacock. Can I have YouTube?
No. I'm
not paying for ESPN.
Yeah, no, me neither.
So what was the main event?
Wow.
The main event didn't happen because it was a lights out, unsanctioned match. And once the lights went out and came back on, Tony Khan was not responsible. No one was responsible except for the men in that ring.
Because Will Ospreay said, I'm not cleared, but I'm willing to take the risks. I know what they are, and I'm going to do it.
And then they played a video of Alex Windsor reading, I guess, a letter she wrote to him that actually made me cry.
It made me tear up, dude. I'm like, I want somebody, I'm single. I want somebody to love me the way this woman loves Will.
Right?
Like, and that was so beautiful, dude. Like,
meanwhile, I'm sitting here watching it, and my wife is making a puzzle. And I'm like, I can't let her see me cry because I know she's going to make fun of me so bad. And like, because it wouldn't be the first time that she has made fun of me for crying at wrestling, but which isn't often, but I'll tell you what, all the times that it's happened have been with AEW. And I'm a big crier. I cry in like coffee commercials.
Guy. Yeah.
When I watch a coffee commercial and like they show a family and like maybe, you know, whatever, they're celebrating the best part of waking up. You know, I'm touched by that shit. I'm not going to lie. But wrestling very rarely does it. But that was so heartfelt. And it was one of those things where it's like, and we've talked about, you know, AEW especially really being there during the pandemic and things like that. And the connection you have with these folks. And, you know, I have connections with fictional characters all the time, but these are not fictional characters. They're real human beings doing this stuff. And the thing I like about AEW, part of it, I mean, it's run by a fan and all the guys are fans. Nobody in there is just collecting a fucking paycheck in that company. No. Nobody in there is just in it because they couldn't make it in football. They're in it because they're fucking wrestlers, you know?
Yep.
And so that connection that hits you when you hear something that's really heartfelt like that. And I mean, I don't even remember most of what it said, to be honest with you. I just remember being really moved by it. And my papa's on.
Yeah.
Facing away from my wife.
Weeping gently into my papa's son.
We'll talk about, oh my God, all the times this woman makes fun of me for crying. But anyway.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Oh, Avengers Endgame was really rough.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Oh my God. So I will just say, you know, there's a lot of great entrances, you know, the Death Riders, all that stuff. It was super good.
Yeah.
But Will's entrance was so special. And so he's walking down to the ring. Or no, I guess he's not. I guess that just played by itself. And then his that hit.
And the crowd knew every word.
And Will is so clearly going to be gone for a while. Like, they're paying so much tribute to Will.
It was the fucking... Tell me a lie. Remember when
it really.
And that didn't even make me cry when he lost his
How
smile.
could that make you cry?
I know.
It's so corny, dude.
I know. All these just shots of him with that fucking big black eye, and he's like,
Jesus
oh, somber.
Christ.
Fucking Shama. You got beat up because you deserved it. Whatever it was.
Yeah,
for,
you were being an asshole.
I know, right,
dude?
So anyway, tell me a lie. And say that you're not leaving.
Just guys, look up Shawn Michaels. Tell me a lie.
Somebody put that song to some Will Ospreay package.
Oh my
I want to
God.
see that.
The song is so bad.
It's so god awful, terrible.
Yeah. It's
so
just,
yes, to your point though, yeah, he got the hero's entrance.
And she says, one of the lines she says is something like, "If you're not worried, then I'm not either."
Yeah. I hope you can
I'm
see
like,
yourself.
This woman is lying for you, Will.
Yeah.
She's lying because she's going to be freaking out backstage during this match.
Dude, yeah. That was...
And y'all know Will's going to do something really stupid.
And he did a lot of stupid things.
He did tons of stupid shit. But this, I'm just going to say, we don't need to go into a lot of detail here. The match was a blast and a half.
The gummy bears were awesome.
Okay, so yes, we have to talk about the gummy bear spot. But
just a few things.
One thing I did want to mention is I love this cage.
Yeah.
So New Japan actually did it was the War Dogs versus United Empire. It was, I believe it was Will Ospreay's last match in New Japan before he came for AEW. And it was in a cage that looked like this, where it surrounded the ring and it was a shorter roof. Or it didn't have a roof, but it had a shorter
It's like
top.
a squat Hell in a Cell almost.
Right.
It's so wide outside the ring. Yeah.
There's so much room outside the
I
ring.
like it. Yeah.
Loved it. I thought that made the match feel like its own thing, for one. And you know Darby's going to do some crazy shit. Darby actually, he's done so much crazy shit. This was actually relatively tame.
Except for when he got fucking duct taped to a chair and then Claudio that looked bad.
Well,
that
and then
really scary.
When Claudio body slammed him, taped to the chair, he was very, very careful about how he put him down. He wasn't ginger. He was just, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. And
he made sure it was safe.
That. Yeah, but it still didn't. I still cringed.
Also, Moxley going apeshit in the ear with the fork.
Dude. So one thing I wanted to add real quick is I love, they've been doing this a lot on Dynamite where Moxley, he used to come from the parking lot, but now he comes from the bowels of the building and they always light it red and it looks like he's coming out of hell. I love, love, love that. That shit with the fork in the ear. So what exactly was even happening? Because I went to the bathroom and then I came back and Darby was taped to a chair and then all of a sudden there was just blood everywhere. And I was like, does he have his ear remember when they did that with Jeff Hardy with the stretched out ear
it was
thing?
kind of like that, but you remember Jeff Hardy didn't bleed when they did that.
Because his ear is already stretched out. Was Mox stretching this for him? Oh God.
I think he had pre-punctured his ear so that it would be bleeding a little bit. And then Mox looked like he was stabbed him in the ear to get the blood, right?
Yeah.
But then he was twisting the fork. It was gross. I mean, it was gross. And of course, there's the pearl clutchers who are like, this isn't wrestling. They do this every time. AEW
go back and find
anything.
a wrestling magazine from 1978. Trust me.
Exactly. And you know what? Just go watch WWE, you fucking dork. Go watch a Roman Reigns match. It'll be safe.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll be okay.
There's plenty of other wrestling where they don't do this.
Yeah.
So go watch
And it's the main event. So you could watch all the way up to this and then just turn it off and walk away.
These are all people who are just seeing clips. They didn't even see the show.
Exactly. There was a point. I'm looking at my notes here. So Claudio is swinging Kenny in the big swing. And I want to say Matt Jackson jumps over him and jumps to the turnbuckle and jumps outside. And there's other stuff going on. And all I could think of was that it looked like when you're watching a clock and the gears are all turning separately but together. I was like, man, you guys, this is insane. How are you guys doing this? It was only for 10 seconds, but it was really
How do they
cool.
coordinate this shit? How do you even put this match together?
Well, how can you? Yeah, because some of it's on the fly and some of it's pre-planned, but how do you do it to that degree?
All of the stuff on the camera is pre-planned. It has to be because it's so coordinated.
Well, remember Swerve and Ospreay versus the Bucks at All In, where it's just there was a sequence of fucking 45 spots strung together that was how?
Yeah, right. That's that's in the running for match of the year for me.
I love that match.
I'm not sure what my favorite all-time AEW match is, but it's either Ospreay versus Hangman at Double or Nothing, or it's the Young Bucks versus Swerve and Hangman, or Swerve and Ospreay because that match was so fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that could be it. I'd have to think long and hard about that.
Yeah.
What do we have here? I'm looking at my notes again. Everybody hit their big moves. Oh, when it came down to Mox and Kenny at that one point, and I think Jim Ross even said the originals or whatever. I love that.
I got chills. Chills. I felt a little emotional, honestly, because
I'll send my wife over next time.
I will not be Zooming with you next pay-per-view with your wife anywhere near us. But,
oh, is he cry too?
No, oh my God, there's two of you.
Awesome. She does not.
No,
my
I
wife
know,
is not a longshoreman. She does not talk like that. She doesn't work on a dock. But that was cool because it is that's the fucking Megatron and Optimus Prime one shall stand.
Yeah, it's like the OG blood feud of AEW.
Tanahashi made it to the top rope. Tanahashi, when he tried to do that shit on the fucking stairs, and they're like, no, on the ladder.
There's a ladder in the ring. Tanahashi wants to climb the ladder to the top of the cage and jump out of the cage through the tables.
Right.
And Will's like, no.
Right.
Like talks him down, basically.
Right. Let us do the crazy shit.
Let us do that. Will also did one of the most perfect looking moonsaults I've ever seen.
Every
off
single
the
one.
top of the cage into the cage.
Yeah.
Like onto the Death Riders and stuff. Gabe Kidd and Darby at the end. Gabe was not a huge factor in this match till the very end.
Yeah.
And that bump that he took with Darby, that was all
scared.
on Gabe.
Yeah.
Like Gabe took almost that entire collision. Like
when they started climbing up, I'm like, please don't stand. Please
Yeah.
do not stand on this thing. And thankfully they didn't, but did they? I don't
No.
remember how it played out.
So they climbed that ladder
yeah.
up to the
And they
top.
were just like seated up there, weren't they? Kind of like horsey
they were
style or something.
standing. And then Gabe like picks Darby like up piggyback style or almost.
I don't
like,
remember.
And then he falls, kind of to the
Yeah.
side, and they both go through this huge stack of tables. And
Awesome.
it was so ugly. And then what I also felt emotional is knowing this is one of the last times Tanahashi's going to have a big match like this.
Yeah.
And I loved the finish.
Yeah.
Where Matt Jackson just gets brutalized by it, literally. Like, both the Bucks get taken out with a hidden blade.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kenny and Will showing they could very possibly be the greatest tag team of all time, if that's what they wanted to do.
Right.
Do the hidden angel, where Matt Jackson is on Kenny's shoulders for the one-winged angel, and Will jumps off, hits the hidden blade, and Kenny, with perfect timing, drops him into the one wing. It looks so good. And
really
then
cool.
Kenny gets up, moves, and everybody clears the way for Tana.
Yeah. And the crowd was so into that. Which is deserved, of course.
Oh, dude, it was the only right thing to do. I wouldn't have thought of. I didn't even. I mean, my sensory perception was so blown by that point. I didn't even think of it. But I was so I felt genuinely a little you guys are so cool. All of you are so fucking cool.
It was classy. That's all I
You
gotta
left it
say.
for Tana to get the pin. That is so dope.
And just the crowd that was so loud all night just got louder. And it's just, again, it's that respect, respect for what you're doing.
And then, so Matt Jackson gets pinned by Tanahashi. The match is over.
Will gets the big,
having his heroes goodbye because everybody knows he's leaving for a while. The baby faces think they're done, but I had seen
And Darby
Moxley
was dead.
Darby's just dead on the floor with Gabe. But I had seen Moxley they showed Moxley talking to Yuta and talking to Claudio.
And they even
outside.
put the little copyright graphic up.
Yes, they did
For
the
a second or
NXT
whatever.
Triple H move where they put the trademark notice. Thank you, it means the end of the show.
Right.
And then the Death Riders barnstorm the stage with the cage
looks
still
so
down.
Devastating. Yeah.
And Moxley DDTs Ospreay 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
In a row.
Paradigm shift. And then, dude, Claudio picking up just his completely limp, lifeless body. That sold it as much as the move, Because it just, and you just kept doing it over and over and over. And I'm like, God, please stop,
Well, and our good friend Reign of Toads made a great point. She says, well, that teaches us not to, that's what we get for not being afraid of the Death Riders anymore. It's like we all underestimated their...
Because there was a split second there where I was like, oh, and I don't want to revisit the Death Riders doing this stuff again. But then, it comes to mind where it's like, well, did you think they were just going to go away?
I think they're still building towards the end. It's still Darby. Darby's going to end it.
He's going to take them apart one by one, I think.
I think he's going to destroy Mox. And that's going to be the end. Somebody presented fantasy booking, which I will briefly get into. Marina bags Moxley after his last loss, to Darby.
Oh, I could see that.
And she leads the Death Riders from there, and Stat joins the Death Riders with Marina, and they're the feature of the group, and that's how Stat becomes the champion.
That's kind of cool. I like Marina. I think she's cool.
I think
I've liked her
awesome.
since day one, and she's
Me
only
too.
gotten better.
She's only gotten better, but don't count on that happening, folks. It's just a possibility, but it's a cool one.
But if it does happen, you heard it from Blade first, and that's why. Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. You heard it here on Sit Down the Hard Way.
That's right.
So on my very complicated rating scale, what would you give Forbidden Door?
I'd give it a. Okay, hold on. So wait, it's either bad, or fun?
Right. Yep.
I'm going to say fun. I'm going to say it was fucking fun overall.
That's a bold choice.
Even the parts where I cried.
I'm going to go fun as well. You convinced me.
Yeah, I felt like you were kind of on the fence at one point.
I was on the fence. Yeah. I mean, I've been talking about the show like twice as long as I expected to because I wasn't sure if I enjoyed it or not, but I did. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic experience. It felt like Christmas for an adult to wake up.
It wasn't even their best pay-per-view this year.
No, it was following their best pay-per-view this year.
Somebody online said AEW puts out their worst pay-per-view and it's still an A+. You know? I mean, not saying it's the worst, but I'm just saying like...
Guys, it was such a great fucking
their pay-per-views
show.
are so fucking good, you have to criticize the referee's involvement. That's the only thing you have. You know?
It's just wild. And I think last thing I want to say before we depart, I made a deal with the devil. I watched on Amazon. And while I don't like Amazon, Google's not really any better, so watching on YouTube really isn't the answer. Amazon's picture quality is insanely good.
Oh, yeah, it is, dude.
It is fucking crazy good. It's better than anybody else by far. YouTube was good, but this was insanely good. Like, it felt like 4K most of the time. So, like I could see through makeup and stuff. Like, it was really that good. So, all right. Well, Professor Degree.
That was the most forbidden door I've ever been through.
Yes.
You know what, Blade? Since I'm in such a good mood, since I had such a good time, and since it's just you and me and no one else can hear this.
Yeah.
I lost on Jeopardy to Blade Daily. Ooh. It's for you, brother. It's for you. Even though I didn't actually lose to you.
You're going back in the box.
You deserve that.
Like, if you think that's going to keep you out of the box, you're going back in.
Fuck, I wasted it. God damn
I mean,
nobody's going to hear this. It doesn't matter, right?
Only you. When you hit play on your phone.
Just a couple of dudes talking.
You're fine. The Hard Way will be back next week. Our ailing Brett Michelle will hopefully be feeling better by then. We wish Brett all the love and support.
Yes.
Feel better, Brett. Joshi G, love you, friendo. We'll be back, I believe, this week. But until next time, I'm Blade Daly.
And I am...
And Professor Degree's phone just cut out. So, his phone just died at the fucking end of the show. Goodbye, everybody.
Sickos Club.